Good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever the heck you're listening to this. Welcome back to Nerdin' Out. My name is Evan.
And I'm Nathaniel. We have a exceedingly special guest present with us. His name is Matt. Can you say hi, Matt?
Hi, I'm Matt. Good to be here.
How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing really well. I've got coffee. I'm ready to go.
Good.
I
Awesome.
don't have my coffee, so I'm going to steal that at some point.
Yeah. So Matt is a good friend of ours. He's kind of a mentor to us. He's an older gentleman, not by much, but just enough. And
Gentleman is definitely the right word, and that sounds very sarcastic, but I'm not being sarcastic.
No, we mean that in the the best way possible. And he is a linguist, so he's very well spoken, so he knows his words.
5-time gold medalist,
Yeah.
1-time bronze medalist, but arguably he should have gotten the bronze.
Yeah, the judges were paid off.
Yes, they gave you the bronze when they should have given you the bronze. But so we've got some weekly news for you guys. So our first item is the final Avengers Infinity War trailer has dropped. Thoughts?
Have you seen it, Matt?
I have. I don't honestly remember much of it because I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh no.
That's that's fair. There's a lot going on. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, was it that Hawkeye wasn't in it, so you didn't care, or
Yeah,
Because he's your favorite character.
he's obviously my favorite.
Yeah, so I think it looks amazing. Like I'm super
you super humped? Huh?
I'm super humped. I'm super hyped for this, and I think that they did a good job of, again, not spoiling a lot. They kind of showed the same things from the first trailer. It's just like they showed Wakanda, they showed the ship, they showed the city, but without revealing too much, I think.
There were like a couple small things that I wish I would have seen fresh in the movie, like Star-Lord with his whole dissing
It's like,
Iron Man.
That's a great idea.
But it sucks.
But it sucks. So I'm gonna come up with the idea so it'll suck less. And then Iron Man's going, wow, all right.
So that's just like a very small. It's just a few seconds, but it's a great introduction to how the characters are going to interact. I can't wait.
Or Peter Parker at the end. It's like, hi, I'm Peter Parker. I'm Doctor Strange. I was like, oh, we're going with our fake names. Okay, I'm Spider-Man. It's like, yes, brilliant. I'm super excited for the movie. Did you hear that AMC is going to do a marathon?
It's like 31 hours, right?
Yeah.
Oh my!
They're gonna do all 18 movies.
All 18 movies.
All 18 Marvel movies, and then it's gonna end with Black Panther, and then go into Infinity War after that.
There's a reason why I got sick of Marvel movies, at least for now.
Yeah.
Because there's 18 of them.
Did you see Black Panther?
I did not see Black Panther. I heard good things.
Yes, I think you should go watch it.
I might someday.
It might reinstate your passion for video game movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It is a really, in a previous episode, I mentioned that Black Panther is probably the best standalone Marvel movie to date. Even though it's like part of the universe, clearly, it doesn't try to be part of the universe, and it's a great movie. I think you'd enjoy it.
Not as much as a superhero movie as other ones.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of film, Tomb Raider is out, unfortunately.
Were you not looking forward to this?
I mean, since the get-go, I just...
Because people can't see your face. Because people can't see your face, and you're
trying to
you cringed really hard when you said that.
I just cringed back into my skull. But basically, I didn't think it was gonna be very good because I felt like the video game that it's based off of, the reboot, did a great job of doing what it did, and this movie seems like it's gonna do like a bootleg version of what the game did. It's getting horrible reviews, like really bad reviews.
Wow, really?
They're like, oh yeah, so like everything's a negative except for the action. Everything else sucks.
I heard that was the best part, just because it's like it reminded people so much of the video game, and that's why it was good. But then there are other parts that
They're
weren't
like,
great.
yeah, everything else that can be something is just not good.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that from the trailer. That was like my impression. So I'm not gonna watch it. I refuse to watch bad video game movies. So,
but I mean, Super Mario Brothers movie was like really good, because it's like
with
you have to.
You mean like that 90s thing?
That 90s thing.
Bowser.
no, that's
that thing that should never be spoken of.
Yeah.
You both gave me such like weird looks. Like, are you serious?
I mean, the thing is that now we're gonna have to go.
I want to go on the record and say I was totally joking. Like that. I don't think that's a good movie.
I want to go on the record and say that Evan was not totally joking. It's his favorite. That's not true. But we're gonna go and delete all our podcasts just to erase all trace of that mention. So
That's fair.
Yeah. So what have you guys been entertaining yourselves with?
Matt, since you're our guest, would you like to go first?
Yeah. Okay. So the one thing that I've been really into ever since it came out is Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Now, you mentioned this to me a little bit just with us hanging out and stuff like that, but can you elaborate more on what that is?
Yeah, so it's an open world RPG, incredible in its detail, and it's incredibly historically accurate. You're Henry, the son of a blacksmith, and it takes place in 1403 in Bohemia, which is the modern day Czech Republic, and there's a coup going on, and the guy trying to usurp the throne is just pillaging towns and cities, and they come and pillage your town and kill your family, and the whole game is basically you trying to find this guy and take him out.
What is the gameplay like?
As far as
Just attacking and stuff.
yeah.
I'm sure, like,
So,
combat.
There you go,
it's-
combat.
that's also historically accurate. They actually have a historian on staff
Wow.
to make sure everything is as historically
Wow.
accurate as possible. They have realistic weapons. They have realistic modes of combat. So you slash from different sides, just like they would have slashed from different sides. You can just straight up stab. You can shoot them in the face with arrows.
What's your favorite gun to use? Like,
Oh no,
Like the-
not a gun.
not a gun.
Yeah, you can't hold a gun.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
See,
I was gonna say, they just have like bow and arrows, right? There's no
Yeah,
crossbows.
Yeah,
That's
no,
so odd.
no,
No,
at least not that I've found yet. They may
Okay.
have one. Yeah, but you can get some wicked nasty armor and
That's always
protect
the
yourself.
best part.
Yeah, I've
of
seen a lot of
RPGs.
people raving about like the story decisions and just like how it's a really, really great game. The thing that turns me off is that it's not fantasy.
that's the thing that I loved about it because I did love
there's a lot of people who
Skyrim.
love that.
I loved Skyrim, but I'm also a huge history nerd, and so I wanted something very historically based.
I
And
do-
I didn't want them to do it halfway, and that was the thing. They didn't do it halfway. They went all the way, and some people I get why they don't like that, but for me, I love it.
No, I would love to try it at some point.
I love the history aspect of some games too. Like, I think the most historical games that I've ever played are the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
And I know that they kind of stretch the truth sometimes in the reality of what actually happened, but they actually use like historical places and historical figures, and I really enjoy that, and I enjoy kind of like the realistic fiction stories that they tell. Like, these are characters that existed and these are events that happened, but then here's something that might have been fun if this happened like on the side. Like that would
Right.
I really like those kind of stories too.
Yeah.
But the game that you just described, that sounds really, really cool too, because I love
Yeah.
history too.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
I think
great.
my favorite historical games are the Call of Duty games. They're just so accurate in like every detail. I've actually only played one and I got
Yeah.
bored. So anyway, so this week I've been playing Prey, Prey. I haven't been just praying. So this game you were basically stuck.
Prayer's not a bad thing either. But
No, but
Yeah.
that wasn't like what I was entertaining myself with. So
Okay.
just to be
that's
clear.
fair. No, that's fair.
So this game is set in a space station, Telos 1, and there are these shadow creatures that want to kill you. And there's like this whole like memory mind wipe process with like implants, and you have like special powers, and it's really, really cool. So I was 12 hours in. For a few months, I like built up to that part, and I was just like, okay, I need to beat this game already. I have too many games that I'm starting. I need to finish this. So I sat down, played 3 hours, played 4 hours. It was 3 a.m. and I was like, okay, this game is not being over. It needs to be over. So I got up in the morning and I played another 3 hours. And at 20 hours, I finally beat it.
Whew.
Wow.
So it's a fantastic game.
Is it that it's challenging and it takes a long time to beat, or is just there's a lot to do?
There was just a lot of content, and I didn't realize how long the game was.
Didn't expect there to
I was
be
like,
that much.
oh, this game is probably like 13 hours. No, it's 20 hours for me.
On the surface level,
Yeah.
it seems like really simple story-wise, but it just goes way deeper than
Yeah.
I thought it would.
Speaking of that, how like story based is it?
So I would say it's a little higher than medium story based because it's mostly told through audio clips and like people contacting you on the radio. It's very Bioshock, very Bioshock inspired, and there's like different. I don't want to like spoil it, but there's a lot of characters you interact with. There are like a few people you meet. I'd say the story is really good. The ending left me really disappointed,
Okay.
but the gameplay is fantastic. A lot of the story is just really interesting, and it's like really cool to see all the different perspectives.
Do you think they're leaving a possibility for a sequel?
So people have talked about that. I feel like there could be. There's a lot of potential for one.
Because without spoiling anything, do you think the ending is like open-ended enough to where there could be a sequel?
I mean, I think there's 2 endings, but
Oh, okay.
either way, I think there is definitely a potential for a sequel. I would
Okay.
like to see a sequel.
All right,
It's a really fun game.
that's cool.
Evan.
So I've like been very basic this week, and I've just been playing Madden, which I mean, it's probably one of my all-time favorite games because it's the game that I probably have spent the most time playing over my life. And if you don't know what Madden is, it's an NFL-based football game where you choose a team to play with, and then you can play against your friends or whatever. You can play online, all that stuff. It has this one mode that I spend the most time playing, which is franchise mode, which basically you control a team, you control like the personnel, you control the roster, depth chart, like where your team plays and all that stuff.
Is it like a horde mode in Gears of War, or Halo, where you just take on waves of enemies?
No, this is football. It's a sport.
Oh,
game.
right. My bad.
I know we're so used to talking about like fighting games, Dragon Ball games, or whatever. No, this is a very like real life sports game where you can scout like college players in the draft and all that stuff. And I recently just kind of got back into it, and I've been playing it a lot more again. And yeah, and it's a lot of fun. Like I love the role of the GM and like controlling a team and all that stuff, because it's something that I like to think that if I ever got a chance to do that, I'd be pretty good at doing.
And the game lets you explore that.
Yeah, and the game lets you explore that and lets you think like, oh, like if I had a chance to do this, like, you know, would I be good at it? And I know it's fake. I know it's not real, but I like to think I'd be a good GM if I had an opportunity to be.
Yeah, and like Kingdom Come, it's fairly realistic, except for like the glitches that make your players like explode occasionally.
I mean, doesn't that happen in football? Just players randomly
Yeah, like
explode?
players just run into each other and explode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just like
Some of the
glitch out.
some of the glitches kind of are weird, but
They're fun, right?
They are
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, but it's still a fun game, and I enjoy it. A lot of people will diss it because they kind of compare it to, because it's made by EA as well.
Right.
So it's compared to a lot to like Call of Duty, and it's like a lot of it's the
yearly.
same games, just like reskinned or whatever. But this one is like, oh, the graphics are like a little bit better, and it's a roster update. That's like the biggest
And
complaint.
maybe like
That's like
one
the
or two
biggest
new
complaint.
features, right?
Yeah, I heard that for Madden 19, that's the next one coming out, that they're working harder, or they're putting more effort into the franchise mode, and they're trying to make it better, which I'm a little excited about. I probably won't get it unless I hear or see any like drastic changes. Otherwise, I'll probably just stick with the one that I have, because like for a while, like I've been getting like the most up to date Madden, like up to this point. My fiance brought it up. She's like, if it's the same game, like why are you still getting it? And I was just like, it's kind of on tradition at this point. Like like I feel like I have to do it.
If
but
I had a nickel for every time somebody has asked me that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Then you should just tell her, I mean, I'm the same version I was last year, except slightly updated. So why are you still with me?
Hey, that's perfect. That's
There
true.
you go.
Oh, here you go, babe. Answer that question.
Boom. Sporadic, unscripted question segment. So, Matt, if you had one video game that you would... There's no island involved, by the way. You just have this one video
I
game
just have
that
one
you get to
video
play
game in my house.
forever.
For the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay.
And one that you get to destroy, wipe
Ooh.
off the existence of the planet.
Okay.
So,
I would play NCAA football. The last one that came out, I think, was 14.
Oh, that was a good one.
And so because I love college football and video games, they combined both of those great things, and I would play it all day, every day if I could.
all day, every
I
day.
have jobs.
I was gonna say, I heard that they're trying to get the rights to the NCAA like football rights, and they're trying to make another football game soon. I heard.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that too. I don't know.
I've been hearing that for years,
all
and
go
then
down
no
legally.
news has come out about it. So I'm
I
really
feel
hoping.
like I've heard that too, but maybe I just want to be included.
Probably.
And what would you destroy?
I would destroy.
Ooh.
Well, I try to stay away from bad games, but
Good choice.
There's a game that you played that you thought would be good, and it was like, oh, this actually sucks.
man, that's a great question.
This could almost be its own segment.
It really could. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
But can you think of one that you just hate and just did not enjoy?
One time I saw like a Britney Spears dancing game.
Oh,
There you go.
I would have that one destroyed, whatever the heck that was.
that doesn't need to exist.
So, I mean, that's the game that I would choose to play for. No, so I would choose Super Smash Brothers to play forever.
Ooh.
That just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as fun by yourself, but I'm assuming there's going to be other people around. What would I destroy? Honestly, there are several bad video games I have played, but there's this, I haven't played this one, but it's like called Fashion Trends or something.
Ew.
Why does that exist?
Uh,
It's
I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean,
To try to get little girls into video games? I'm not sure.
yeah. I think, shoot, I don't know. Like, if I had to pick one game
Mhm.
well, I can't think of a game that I'd want to play forever.
It's like really replayable game maybe.
Probably Madden, because that's replayable. You could definitely like start things over and do things differently. You totally could.
Yeah, there's like different variations of the same thing, but it stays fun.
Yeah. Game I would destroy. There was a game that I played or that I got because a friend recommended it to me, and I played it and I was like, this is the worst thing ever. Alpha Protocol.
Oh, I hear that's pretty bad.
It's like a choose your own adventure story with like your choices matter to the story, and they do to an extent. If you like story games, then that's good for you, but then the combat is just not good, and it's really janky, and I found myself getting very frustrated with the combat. So by the time I was done, I don't care how the other endings and I'm done with this game.
This game is just jank in the tank. It's just
That's a good way to put it. Jank in the tank.
All right, guys. Well, we have finally come to our main topic. And by finally, I mean, not really finally. I mean, we're kind of here, and it didn't take that long, so...
About almost 20 minutes.
And it's not our final topic necessarily, but it is final.
It is Final Space.
Yeah.
Slash Olan Rogers. Who is the creator of Final Space. So...
Real quick,
who wants to give us a rundown of what... Actually, let's go with Olan Rogers first.
Let's start with Olan Rogers first. Let's start with the mastermind behind all this. So, Olan Rogers, he originally was a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm. He started off on Balloon Shop, which was a channel he did with, I think it was some friends.
Yeah.
Their first video was from 10 years ago, so they had a lot of skits and a lot of like really funny, abstract videos with they had a very unique sense of verbiage for their jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How would you guys describe like the style of comedy?
Well,
like as far as Olan Rogers, not Final Space.
Right. Going further on into like his storytelling, he's very exaggerated, I feel, with a lot of his stories, and he kind of comes across as almost like a Jim Carrey a little bit, but his own like take on Jim Carrey. You know what I mean?
It's like a little less silly, like a more, I would almost want to say a more classy silly.
Yeah. And he's a clean comedian, which is refreshing because a lot of comedians now feel like they have to throw vulgarity and everything they say to be funny.
Say the F word and it's hilarious,
right?
Yeah, fabulous. So he purposefully said that he doesn't use profanity because he thinks it's a crutch, and that's his own like form of comedy is just to be pure comedy.
Yeah, and it was great because you guys actually introduced me to him like a while ago, and I had never heard of him. I heard you guys like referencing his videos all the time, and I was like, what are you guys talking about? And then you showed me just this gold
Lion's Blaze,
Lion's Blaze, which was
Ghost in the Stalls. That was the first one I ever saw. Was Ghost in the Stalls.
The first one I ever saw was the first Lion's Blaze video. That was the first one that I ever saw.
So after Balloon Shop closed down a few years ago, he started Olan Rogers' channel, and he has a lot of the same types of skits, but they're more centered around Olan, and they're just really fun. You should check out his YouTube channel.
Yeah, just not shameless plug. You hear people say like shameless plug. I'm not ashamed to plug him. He is a great talent, and he should be recognized as such.
Yeah, he's hilarious. His stories are really well done. Like his shorts. Mm-hmm. Not the ones he wears, but the ones he records and puts on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
You mean the shorts he spits out of his mouth?
Yeah, those shorts.
Yes. Not literal shorts like you said, but short stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's just a really cool guy who's been on YouTube for a long time and has like a really solid following. Maybe not like the most compared to other people, but
last time I saw
he deserves more.
He deserves way more.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, I think he had close to like 800,000 subscribers on YouTube,
yeah.
which is
really
good. Which is good,
really
but I feel like if more people knew about him, he would be great.
Yeah, and he owns a soda parlor, I think, in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, Nashville.
Nashville,
Yeah.
Tennessee. And he has like parties over and people play Smash Bros. And he's just this really cool guy. And he went to LA because he had an opportunity to pitch an idea he had for an animated show.
Yeah, which is Final Space. which is what we're here to kind of talk about and just talk about first impressions. Because the pilot is up on tbs.com, but to watch any of the other episodes, you need to like log in, and it's really stupid. And unless you watch it live, it's kind of hard to get a hold of the episodes without like pirating the episodes.
Right. So Matt, what is Final Space exactly?
So Final Space is a sci-fi cartoon show about a guy named Gary who's serving a 5-year sentence on this spaceship with only like the ship's AI as his like guardian, and it prevents him from escaping and getting cookies and things like that.
Right. There's just random cookies in there. That's
Yeah.
oh, touch the cookie! So there's just like, so the series actually got picked up by TBS, but Conan O'Brien is the one who noticed it. And
he's the main producer behind this, source of money for this project.
Yeah, which is awesome because Olan was on the Conan show, and he just got a lot of great voice talent for the show. Like there's David Tennant, Fred Armisen, Caleb McLaughlin, he from Stranger Things,
Andy Richter,
Steven Yeun. There's just so many great actors on the show, and then Olan and his friend
Cody.
Yes, and what's great is that it's his own brand of comedy. Just from like the pilot, from what I've seen, it's his own brand of comedy, and I'm not seeing a lot of studio involvement like from TBS. TBS Studios really letting him do his own thing, which I really appreciate. They're not like trying to make something else. They're really just like letting him run with it.
Yeah, you could really tell that Olan had, I mean, he's the creator of the show, but he had so much say in what the show is and what it embodies.
Yeah.
It's totally Olan Rogers comedy. Like you watch his YouTube stuff and you watch Final Space, and you can tell like it's the same stuff.
It's you can tell that he wrote it. You can you see the comparison, and it's great because in just watching this first 2 episodes, the pilot was like a
two-part.
It was a two-parter in one episode. It was like a 40-minute episode. You hear a few references to like YouTube videos that he has, like just in this episode alone, where you hear like, you know, it's Monday.
It's a Monday.
It's Monday. Or from the Lions Blaze, they have the clasp of friends. That comes up a few times. And if you were a fan of him before, who like watches YouTube videos, you hear those things and you go, oh, I know that.
Yeah.
I get that reference. And they're just these little things that I think he threw in there, knowing that they were going to be little things, and only like real fans of him would see it. Not saying that you can't be a real fan if you don't.
We are the
if you
real
don't
fans.
know.
Anyone else get at?
No, I'm saying the term quote unquote real fan, like
People who have known him
before,
him on YouTube,
knew him
whatever.
before.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm not saying you can't be a real fan of him now. That's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
But-
saying.
Okay, that's what Nathaniel's saying.
that.
I don't need anyone to back me up.
All right, you stand alone. You
I
just-
stand.
So, Nathaniel, what are
Yes.
your first impressions of the episode? Just
Yeah, so I had watched the first half, or I guess, because the first episode is basically 2 parts that feed into one. So I watched the first one before, and I watched the last 2, or the first 2 episodes again, like last night. And I feel like there's so much gold in the series. The first time I watched through the first half, I laughed so hard. The second time I watched through the first part, I was still laughing. And then the second part came, and it just felt like more of what I wanted. There's so much charisma and so much I really like wordplay, and there's a lot of wordplay in the series. There's a lot of really unique phrases strung together, which is very Olan.
Yeah.
I just think every character that's placed in there brings something unique, and it's really cool figuring out which characters are voiced by who. I really, really like Kevin. And maybe that's just because I know he's Fred Armisen, so
you have a little bias.
I have a little bit of bias, but I just love Gary's hatred of Kevin. He's just
It is hilarious. Yeah.
like there's this one part of that they're like running away, and he has like a few seconds to get to this place, and he like takes the time to drop kick Kevin, like go
Yes.
back and drop kick him, and then he just goes back to get his helmet just in time. But he's like,
He risks his life to just kick Kevin.
just because he hates him, because no reason.
Yeah.
I was really hoping the robot's name would have been Wesley, but I really hope there's a character at some point named Wesley, because I think that's one of my favorite jokes. Is just son of a Wesley, son of a
Olan
Wesley.
Rogers, yeah.
Yeah. If you can probably type "son of a Wesley" into YouTube and get an Olan Rogers video. So
you probably type
do
it
that.
into YouTube. I mean, into Google.
Into Google, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Bing.
Yeah.
Or-
Okay. I use Bing. It's not that bad. People give it a hard time. I don't know why.
If I had to describe Bing
I'm
in
a
one
fan of the
word,
underdog.
Thank you.
If I would have to describe being in one word, it would be equestrian cancer. But
That's 2.
I mean,
Thank
you're
you.
right.
Thank you, Matt.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you are right. So
Yeah.
Okay, Matt. First impressions.
I use Bing too sometimes.
All right, so yeah, I thought, like we had already stated, how it's so Olan, and the phrasing he uses for a lot of his lines is just great. Like I made sure to write down a few so that I could say them here. Like,
just as examples.
yeah, for example, sometimes I like to hide myself by putting underwear on the circumference of my head. Or, your job is to protect life. And then the AI says, "Is that life, Gary?" And then Gary says, "Well, if it's not, I'm a raging sack of walnuts."
I just love it. Just
I'm remembering all this.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy because he says so much and it's so fast that like you have to hear it more than once.
because you're like, wait,
Yeah.
did he really say that?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, a raging sack of walnuts. That's right. He totally said that.
And I think that's why it has such great like replay value. You know, you could go back and watch it again because you're going to pick up on little lines like this that you will have missed the first time.
Nuggets.
And-
Please tell me you have more.
And I have one more.
Oh, good.
I know my arm is gone, you decaying pile of fecal matter.
I remember that one.
The
That's when that's when like the bad guy or the
Like-
the Lord like took it off.
The
right?
Lord
Yeah,
Commander
just
just like
pulls it off.
tears his arm off.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and you're just like, wait, what? His arm's coming? What?
And it's
Yeah.
just like the second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like a staple for like the promotional art has him with his robot arm, so
It's like
they go into that right away.
Yeah, it's true.
oh goodness.
So yeah, that was the thing. The only like I don't know if it's really a knock, but it just kind of took me by surprise. Is some of the stuff is so bizarre. There were just like a couple scenes that I was just like, whoa, okay, I guess I'll have to get used to that.
Oh, the hiding in an alien skin.
Yeah, and
Like,
then the alien kids think that it's their mom,
Uh,
and that was really creepy.
I absolutely
and
love
then
that.
they're like pulling her back and forth and rips the skin.
And they're like, Mom! And they'll just figure
It's
out the
like-
mom because he's wearing
And
the
Olan,
mom's
and then
skin.
Gary's just sitting there. I called him Olan. Roger, Gary's just sitting there like. So you probably have some questions.
Yeah.
And I love how like the dad is like, oh honey, and like kisses her on the him on the
Yeah.
mouth. And just like, oh.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh my crap.
Yeah, things.
But I can roll with that because the rest of it is so hilarious.
Are you referencing Roland with Olan?
No, but I should have been.
Yes, which is like it's like a short video series where Olan is in a car with his friend just talking about stuff and getting food.
Oh.
Anyway,
Anyway.
any other? Actually, let's talk about Avocado because he's a pretty important character.
Yeah, I like avocado. He is actually is avocado technically a fruit because it has a seed? I'm talking about the actual fruit.
I don't wanna get into that
Avocado
argument.
is a fruit.
That's a great question. I
It
think
has
it's a fruit. It has a pit.
It's a pit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be saying things like Olan Rogers this
I
whole
know.
time.
I don't want to put any stock into this topic because it's very political and personal to me. So
Anyway, I like avocados.
I get that.
Not just the fruit, but also the character. He seems like on the surface level, he seems like just like a bad guy who is just doing bad things because he wanted to. But then you find out later that his son is captured and that's why is imprisoned, and that's why he's doing these things to pay off a debt so he can get his son. And it added a whole layer to his character. So then later on, when he decides, you know what, no, I'm gonna help you, Gary. It makes sense because it's like he didn't want to be a bounty hunter because he was forced to do this because he was trying to save his son. So now it's like, oh, this guy is doing the right thing and he's trying to do the right thing. I want to help him with that. So it makes sense. And I love how they were able to really convey that without straight up saying it. And then
Yeah.
so when it happens, it's organic, and it was amazing that they were able to do it in just these two and just these two like episodes in 40 minutes. They were able to convey that message.
And I think
where some movies, Justice League, can't convey that in like an hour and 45 minutes. Like
Yeah.
or some movies can't even do it in 3 hours, or some series can't do it in like 20 hours. So props to that. And I
so
think
good.
one thing that really helped it was the humor. Like, the clasp of friends. Like,
The
even
clasp of friends.
Avocado at first is just like, what? You're just trusting me just like that? It's just like, what?
I know, and I think that threw him off too because he's not used to people trusting him so willingly like that, and I think that kind of threw him off too, and that kind of convinced him that no, this guy's different. He's not like everyone else, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, because at first I was like, oh, this is like a really quick friendship, but I bought it like pretty easily. It's
I
well
kind
done.
of I kind of thought so too, but then one because I mean if you look at it contextually, Gary, this is the first like you saw
in
like
5 years.
Yeah, for 5 years is the first like biological contact he's had, and then the first thing he does is plays cards with a guy, even though playing cards he's just like putting cards in his mouth and he's spitting them out. So for 9 hours. And to Gary, that means the world. This guy, he has no idea. So then when Gary's like, no, I trust you. You're my friend now. And it's like, it seems weird at first, but then he sees Gary going through everything to try to get his son back, or try to help him get his son back. And it's like, wow, okay, no, this guy is definitely more than just crazy.
I don't want to follow like this force bending, spine ripping, like Lord Commander freaking little tiny thing. You're so small.
Oh, he's so tiny. He's so small.
So,
Oh, gosh.
yeah, and you said biological. Avocado is like a cat man thing. I forget exactly what it's.
He's a Ventrexian.
Ventrexian, there you go.
It's like, I'm not a cat. I'm Ventrixian. It's like, oh, okay.
Right, whatever. You're literally just a talking cat. That's okay.
But I thought that was funny. I think
Cat.
It's just a cat. Oh man, and can we talk about mooncake now, please?
Yeah.
Can we talk about
I love
mooncake?
mooncake. Who doesn't love mooncake?
Oh, mooncake's so
We're
good.
talking about eating mooncake, right?
No. You know
Oh, not
he's-
hazel cake, mooncake.
He's a
the little green
living.
dude.
He's a living being. I
The
wouldn't eat
Planet
him.
Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, it threw me off because when he's like circling around the planet and then he runs out of oxygen, I'm like, oh, what's Mooncake gonna do? He's like, does he have like telepathy? Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
He has better.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's insane. And it's crazy because what ends up happening is it's like Gary doesn't see it. He has no idea what Mooncake could do. I feel like if he saw what Mooncake could do, like their relationship would be so much different.
Yeah.
But he still like loves Mooncake in such a way that Mooncake is just like, thank you for loving me for me, not for what I can do. I feel like that's kind of what he's. Oh man,
I really like that about Gary's character. He's just very open and accepting of people.
Yeah.
And it just is really nice to see a character who's kind of so pure-hearted, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like that's probably what Olan Rogers is totally like in real life. I think Gary is Olan.
I think so.
I think I can't help but see Olan Roger
With
when I see Gary on screen. Like that's the only thing I can see because it's one, it's his voice, obviously.
Yeah.
Two, he has a metal arm in real life. He doesn't.
But yeah, and I think what ends up happening is the reason why he's in this five-year sentence or serving this 5-year sentence is because he was impersonating a military fighter pilot, and that's like
To hit on a chick.
To hit on a chick.
Yeah.
So it starts out where his motives were selfish, but then you see okay, I feel like what will happen, or what I see happening, is that he will continually try to impress what's the girl's name?
Quinn.
Quinn. He will continually try to impress her by doing great things, and then what will happen is that will conflict with Avocado at some point. That's what I see happening. And there will be some like butting of heads in a way,
Or heading of butts.
Sure, that too. And I can see that happening down the road where, at first, it seems like his motives are very pure, and he does have a very pure heart, in the center. But at the moment, he's driven by a lot of selfish desires to impress this girl, this spicy babe, and
Who's the spicy babe over there?
and
Muy caliente. Muy caliente spicy babe or something like that.
who's that muy caliente spicy babe over there? And I think overall, just these character arcs will be great, and just seeing how they develop and everything, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
So, I guess moving forward, what
You kind of started that already, but
that was my segue. I said moving forward, what would you guys like to see? Character wise or plot wise.
I mean, obviously I want to see continued humor and stuff, which is obviously going to come. But I really want to see some less expected story points happen, less obvious kind of tropes. I feel like with Mooncake, there's going to be the obvious part where he gets kidnapped, and then they're going to try to bring him back, and then that's just the first thing that pops into my mind. But I just want them to go with less expected tropes and to kind of subvert the genre a little bit.
What if we get to near the end, and turns out Mooncake is evil?
Oh.
Whoa. Right now, I hate that.
Because Mooncake is so
Right
lovable.
now, I hate
Yeah.
that.
But we'll see. I mean, they could do some great writing and kind of change things around to where it's like believable and fun, and you're like, oh, I get it.
I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because then you think back, it's like, oh, you think back to something else where you're like, oh, yeah, that's why that happened, you know?
Right.
I love it when stories do that.
And I feel like one thing that's really going to help the series is that even if when they do resort to actual like tired tropes, if they do actually do that, the humor is going to really shine and make it different and put like a new take on it to where you accept it, not because you just accept it, but because it works and it's
Yeah.
just fresh. Like I feel the series is really fresh.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think it's got a great future ahead of it. And yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with all the relationships with people and Avocado and Gary and Mooncake and Gary and
Avocado and Little Cotto.
Little Cotto, yeah.
Quinn and Gary
Quinn and Gary.
are not going to be. I don't know. Maybe they will
Yeah.
be.
They might
I
be.
wonder if
I really want to see their confrontation. Oh, we had that. Well, one of the bounty hunters, like towards the end, but we won't like. We've already like given away some stuff. I mean, it's just the first 2 episodes, but there's like a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah, a lot of things that, you know, a lot of things they'll have to answer, a lot of questions they'll have to answer. Definitely a lot of moving pieces right now, and yeah, I know what you're referring to too. And I was a little confused at that too. I was like, huh. So I feel like with like the wormhole thing, I feel like that's gonna play a part or whatever. It's like the worm mouth hole or whatever they say. It's like,
yeah.
It's like we could go 1,000 years in the future, 1,000 years in the past. It's like is that a risk we really want to take? It's like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Just do it. And then they go 4 days into the future, and he's like, "Oh, my sentence is over."
It's like
I was like, "No, time traveling doesn't count.
it's like
It doesn't take off days."
he's
in the
like
sentence.
he's like crap it, crap it.
Oh my total crap.
But man, okay, so overall, I know we've only seen like the first like
Right.
pilot
We can't
episode.
really review because it's gonna be 10 episodes. I really hope this show gets supported because I would love to see a second season.
Me too. I mean, it depends on how season 1 ends, obviously.
Right, but I feel like 10
But-
episodes is pretty short.
10 episodes is pretty short, and like 20-minute episodes, so it's like 120 minutes. But I think that's good. I think this could be like a good like pilot season.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I think that
I think whatever Olan decides to do with it, it's gonna work, even if it's just 1 season.
yeah,
I have faith in Olin.
By the way,
And in
Olan,
Conan.
if you're listening to this, we love you.
we love you, Owen.
You're a great guy.
We're crushing hard.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I'm past that stage. I'm in total infatuation mode.
Wow.
I'm in full love. No, anyway, he's a wife, right?
Yes.
Yes,
he does.
they-
That's weird that we know that about him.
Yes, they eloped.
I guess it's not weird because he like
He posted a video about
on-
it, so
yeah.
it's not weird. We're not like stalking him right
It's
now.
not like I searched, "Is Olan Rogers single? Please let me know today."
Yeah, so Olin, if you do end up listening to this, like major props to you, and like good luck to everything you're doing, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
we really appreciate just the guy you are, and just like your comedy. You are like a super funny guy. So
Yeah, and
just
you're a huge
keep doing
inspiration.
you. Keep doing you, man.
Huge inspiration too.
Word.
Yeah. So, I think with that being said, we are going to sign off now. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Nathaniel. Thank you, Matt, for joining us.
I would say you're
You
welcome.
can't see me saluting, but I saluted.
Yeah,
As
another
a way of
visual
saying
gag
thanks.
joke.
I can vouch for that. I would say it's been a pleasure, but it has been a pleasure, so I will say that.
Good, thank you.
Good word.
Good wording.
Good multiple words.
Yes. All right. We will see you next time. Bye bye.
Yes, we just like to verbally molest our constituency. They just don't appreciate it, but it's not illegal.
This is like the perfect time where like we should have kept the name that I recommended before, like nerdy right in the ear hole. Like this would have been that would have gone
Nerdy?
perfectly with what you said.
Nerdy right in the ear hole.
Where
Yes.
we molest our constituency
It's like
in the ear.
no, yeah. We open up with prepare to get molested in the ear holes.
Oh,
but
wow.
only verbally and in a non-wrong way.
In a non-wrong way. That's
Only
Oh,
with
gosh.
peanut butter words.
Ugh.